what's up, everybody? This is Gary Holt from Exodus and formerly from Slayer, and you're listening to The Razor's Edge.
You're listening to The Razor's Edge. My name's Matt, and I'm here at Desertfest with Froglord.
Hello.
Hello.
Amphibious greetings to all of you.
Indeed, yes. Welcome from the swamp.
Well, welcome to Desertfest. Are you regular attendees of the festival?
Never been before?
No,
I think we have.
I've never been.
No. I think we're all popping our cherries today in the desert. Which,
The desert of Camden.
It's been a. I mean, we've been in Camden before. It is a wild and interesting, vibrant place. But Desertfest, it's our first time. It's been mostly painless so far, but I mean, it's still early into the weekend yet. The pain, I'm sure, is yet to come.
If you manage to park up without any pain, then you've got yourself to a head start, I think.
Yeah, managed to pre-plan.
There's only a small bit of pain with parking.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Oh yeah, we got cancelled on first thing this morning for our pre-booked spot, which we booked 2 months ago. We checked the app this morning. It was like cancelled. They don't do parking there anymore. It's like,
Amazing. Oh well. Well.
We're here. Somewhere else.
Only 5 minutes away.
Yeah, you're allowed to park on them like double red lines, right? That's what they're there for.
Yeah, double red means you park, isn't it? Yeah. Oh man. Well, it's only upwards from here. You've just released an album.
Yes.
That's kind of like the big thing in the camp at the moment, or the swamp, should I say, at the moment. Metamorphosis. I don't speak English. Metamorphosis.
That's the one. Yeah.
How's it been received? How's the campaign been?
It's been fantastic. I think we're so overwhelmed with the response it's got. I mean, this is album 5 now.
Five, yes.
But I think this is the one that the most effort's gone into for sort of a patient rollout and release.
We actually tried this time.
Yeah. Rather than just I'll put this out, see if anyone listens to it. Let's put some forward thinking into it.
Yeah,
and that's
a lot has sort of led up to it, because we've been touring and gigging, and a lot has kind of gone into this album. And to sort of release it with quite a big sort of press plan and all that.
The actual
very well
and then the response from people as well is it's been honestly humbling. It's been wonderful. I know it shouldn't be a numbers game, but then we've just been keeping an eye on the Spotify stats recently. We're like, Jesus Christ, man, what's going on?
Not something you'd expect from a band you started as a joke. Seeing things is that a comma?
I hear that. I think Herman's probably my favourite riff from the album. Which is pretty cool.
I think that might have been one of the first ones that started.
Where's the first one we learned as a band from the new album, wasn't it?
I think we knew from the off that was going to be
a good one. Live and well received.
It's so much fun to play.
With the harmonica solo.
That was pretty out there, but it works, There should be more harmonicas in the genre, for sure. You must write quite fast, being 5 albums in as many years.
I think the trick is that I've not been afraid to put out really, really shit awful tracks, because there have been, I'd say about 70% of the Froglord discography is just. I mean, some people might beg to differ, but I don't think it's good, man.
It's a bit like having a shit ton of fishing rods with worms on the end of them, and every now and then there'll be one fish that likes a worm.
Throw enough shit at the wall.
Each word's a different song, really. And every now and then we catch a trout.
I'll see how it is.
It's probably the case for, you can probably attest to yourself, any musician is you're constantly writing, there's always some creative process going on. And it's that, I think,
it can't all be good.
And
so once you start writing new ones, that you start to like the old ones less. Because you feel like you progress as a musician, you'd write better material and stuff.
But then being happy with just putting out the stuff which isn't groundbreaking stuff. Because I think I've always approached it from the perspective these days, because we live in an age now that has such a short attention span.
Yeah.
Like, especially in these early days, which we're still very much in, we've just got to churn stuff out, mate. And I think we're now slowly getting to the point where we could probably slow down a little bit and focus more on quality.
But it does happen a lot where a band will spend, you know, years writing an EP and spend thousands of pounds on making it sound perfect, and then, you know, release it, and it may not do as well as they're hoping, and that's, you know, as you said, for people's attention spans, it might just happen, you know. So in the early days, there's no point throwing too much sort of into something.
You may as well do it in your bedroom until, you know.
But then it is still very much early days for us, really, because I know, say 5 albums, but it was 5 years since the first EP came out 3 days ago, and it's not really that long, really.
You got to stay relevant, especially with the.
But I think the take-home message is that some of it is good.
Well, people are saying it's good. Especially on some new albums.
It does seem from an outside perspective that like the last year has seen a bit of a increase in momentum in the Froglord camp. It's cool to see you got the Moshville people behind you now.
Yeah, that's a really exciting venture, that all of this, because I mean Moshville, they've been going at it for years. They've been quite established for a while, but now they're just starting off as like a management agency. So we're in the first sort of wave of bands to do it. So it's a really exciting time that we're both sort of venturing into this new kind of territory together. I think there's a lot of potential for it.
That's awesome. What was it like starting the project during COVID and seeing it blossom into a band when it was able to do so?
Weird, man. Because on it, like Luke, you were saying beforehand, that it all literally just started as a joke, as a little bit of tongue-in-cheek to the Stoner Doom. I mean, Stoner Doom is our bread and butter at the end of the day, but you don't start a project called Froglords with the whole seriousness of the whole intentions of being a very serious band.
Of headlining the Dev.
And I was literally just recording direct into a laptop, just like sat down on the living room floor of like me and my partner's house back then.
I mean, that's the essence of lockdown, isn't it?
But
it's so insane.
I think every time we go on tour or like play somewhere mad, like here at Desertfest, there's always a moment where you just are taken back for a minute.
I hear that. And what was like starting to play live, like just the like natural next step at that point when pubs and clubs were opening again?
I mean, I was a fan of the band before I joined it, because I was like, oh, frogs and doom metal, awesome. Like the other like 5 or so thousand people that follow you thought. But so as I said, I was a fan before, and then he was just sort of like, oh, you know, I might think about doing some gigs. You know, you play instruments, do you know a drummer, should we look for someone else? And
I've got to give mostly give credit to my partner for it, because in my head it was just like, oh, this is getting a little bit of traction. Like I just moved down to Bristol and I was like, maybe I could one day perform live in it, but I just realistically don't see it happening. And she like really pushed me to do it. It's like, stop being a little bitch. And I was just like, yeah, all right. I reached out to someone on Instagram who ran this channel, Stoner Doom, and then you were like, yeah, I'm a bassist. I also live with a drummer.
Oh,
cool. And then through a workmate, found a guitarist. It all happened within like 2 weeks. It was weird.
Written in the stars.
Because that was about the time. Was the Mystic Toad album out then, or
I was
working on it? So we had learned some of the older ones, like Amphibian Ascending, Ecocide.
Yeah, I think that Bog Wizard split came out just after our first gig.
It's interesting joining a band that already has music and they can give you songs to learn. Because you know, we had learnt the Mystic Toad, you know, before it was out, and then it came out and we gigged it. And it's like, quite interesting learning songs rather than coming together and writing songs. It certainly gave us a bit of a head start, I think. That's what I mean.
Yeah, lockdown was, going back to what you were saying before, lockdown was like really amazing in that respect, that it did provide this wonderful opportunity to like get this head start on that, rather than having to
everyone's sat at home on their phones, aren't they? So
of course.
Something like, oh, what's that? It's quite entertaining.
I think Bristol's a good city to launch a band in as well. Like, there's so many venues. It feels like a little London from my point of view.
Yeah,
it's got
cool scene.
all scenes of music are out there, and the venues for it as well.
Yeah. There's so much happening in so many different genres as well.
Yeah,
it always is.
Yeah, like some amazing venues like Exchange, Griffin. What about Crofters? Crofters is coming back, man.
Yeah. Is there more beer?
We played an album launch there a couple of days ago. Oh, that was more beer is so cool. It's like this. I mean, you've got a more beer here in London, haven't you? But then there's another one in Bristol, and it's cool. Like you often go to a brewery thinking, oh, this is going to be, the sound's going to be whatever. And it's like, geez, that was unexpected. It's really good for some reason.
And when they did us a beer, Toad Venom IPA.
Toad Venom. What a name. Talk us through your environmental work.
Yeah, so my academic, this is going back a good few years now. So my academic background was in environmental stuff. Did a couple of degrees in that, and as I'm sure probably many listeners with a similar background can attest, there's fuck all work to be had in that sector. So I was like, well, I want to make some sort of use out of it. And then it always felt like a natural kind of thing that if I was ever going to be in a position of garnering any kind of attention, I want to use that as a vessel for some sort of environmental work. And that was particularly with Save the Frogs, the amphibian wetlands based charity, who I'd done work with maybe about 12, 13 years back. Did some fundraising for them then. It was never even intentional. It was only after releasing that. So we released an EP called Save the Frogs. It was only after releasing that someone brought it to my attention. It was like, oh, you've done stuff with them before. It's like, oh yeah, frogs seem to be following me around.
Cool. Who else are you catching today? Hell of a lineup.
To be honest, I think we're mostly going to be sticking around at the Dev. So who's playing there? Vermin Throne.
Lust Ritual on in a minute,
Lust
I think.
Ritual. To be honest, Barbarian Hermit are just on before us.
Yes.
They're fucking fantastic, man.
I like those guys a lot.
Other than that, I mean, Conan and Paul Bearer, Amon Ra, would have loved to have seen them, and Zilnada, but it's just, as I'm sure you can read, timetables are scheduling.
It's tricky because they're playing the Roundhouse, which is a little bit further away than if they're playing here or one of the other venues, but Rockstar sacrifices, isn't it?
I mean, we're also parked maybe a 10-minute walk from the venue, but that's in Camden, like a 50-minute drive to the venue. So we've got to bear that in mind for loading.
Totally. What's next for the bands after the album is toured, and what's on the horizon?
We already started work on the next release.
Yeah, so we've got some riffs down for the next bit. It's just a slow process, like we said earlier, taking it a bit more steady. We're discussing ways of recording, different ideas, different instruments we can add in.
Historically it's been myself doing the bulk of the work historically. Jordan on guitar, you've been coming in on Metamorphosis, you've had more input, but on this next one we're wanting to as I say, we're at the point where we're kind of slowing down a bit, get a bit more polished
quality and try and have
let's get everyone actually involved in
solid album.
Good to it.
Gigging.
Gig wise, we're just keeping as busy as possible. Hopefully try and get out into mainland Europe at some point. It's
Ireland.
Ireland, of course. There's stuff in the works for that.
Cool. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
It's been nice to have a chat.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Look forward to your set. No, that's all good. This has been Froglord at Desertfest London.
For listening. Make sure you keep up to date with all of our interviews by subscribing to our channel. For all the latest news, reviews, interviews and more, head over to our website, www.therazorsedge.rocks.